Hello, peace seekers. This is Saniqua White dropping in to give you a piece of my mind that will hopefully give you some peace of mind. And today I have a myth buster. And what I mean by that is a myth that is not true. And the myth is time heals all wounds. That is incorrect. Time may put a scab over a wound, but time does not heal all wounds. You have to intentionally and actively heal wounds. Now, if you're thinking in the physical sense, maybe you have a cut or a scrape, then sure, maybe time will heal that wound in the sense of it's no longer, bleeding, or maybe it's no longer painful, but there's a scar that's there. And if you bother that scar, you may find that that wound still has something to it. And when you think of wounds and scars emotionally, not a lot of people worry about it because they're hidden, they're unseen. Nobody sees your heart on your shoulder, literally. I know people say we wear our hearts on our sleeves, but literally, in the literal sense, you don't see that. So you don't always know if somebody is wounded emotionally. And a lot of times we can fool ourselves when we're wounded emotionally because we got out of the situation, or we grew up, or we left home, or we moved to a different city, or whatever the case may be. We feel like since we escaped, then there's no more problem. But really, you're carrying those emotional wounds with you. And just because a year has passed, 2 years have passed, 10 years have passed, it doesn't mean that the emotional pain is gone. It might be dulled. It might be faint. You might have thrown it into the back of everything else that you have to deal with, but it doesn't mean that it's gone. So just because time has passed doesn't actually mean you're healed. Now, hopefully, if you've done some work, it does mean that you are, but simply letting time pass does not heal the wound. And I've gotten a lot of clients, usually because they're dealing with things right now in the present, but they soon realize that they're being triggered in the present from things that they haven't resolved in the past. And that is what I mean by the time not healing the wound. Time does not heal all wounds. You just keep going. And that's good that you keep going. We never want you to just lay down and just give up. We want you to keep going, but we also want to see you heal and resolve some of those things from the past. So intentionally, you have to get the help you need. Don't assume that because it's years later that you should be over it. You probably hear a lot of people say that if you bring it up. That was 5 years ago. You should be over that by now. Well, probably shouldn't be in that sentence or in their vocabulary when it comes to pain and healing. Don't should on anybody. What you might feel may be different from what the other person feels. Maybe you think that you would have been over it by now, but the other person may not be. And you don't want to make somebody feel bad or feel ashamed or guilty or whatever if they're not healed. Give them an opportunity to do that. If you find that somebody is still carrying things from 30 years ago, let them know that they need help. Because if it's a 30-year-old wound and it's still not healed, they need professional help in order to get that done. And that's what I want people to realize. It is okay to get professional help to heal. You don't have to be ashamed about that. And it doesn't matter how long ago the event was. If you're still being bothered by it, get help. It's okay. I'm telling you now, time does not heal all wounds. No matter how much you want to think that that is true, it isn't. So if this video is helpful, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe. I'll be back soon with more. Until then, be proactive about your mental health. Be well, and God bless.